Tonight on CTV News, weather wreaking havoc.
We just heard this crash and it was so loud.
A huge tree smashes a home in Coquitlam, displacing a family. The windstorm knocking out power to more than 100,000 people.
This is also a national issue. This is our Highway 1. This is a major goods corridor for the entire country.
The Premier's pledged to ask the feds to help with flood prevention as farmers clean up the muddy mess left behind.
The status quo on the downtown Eastside is not working.
Sweeping changes are approved for the downtown Eastside. Critics fear the poor will be squeezed out if high-rise towers come in.
This is CTV News with Mi Jung Lee.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Thousands of people in Metro Vancouver remain in the dark tonight after a fierce windstorm barreled through last night. Those high winds made some families in a Coquitlam townhouse complex nervous, so they slept downstairs. Their fears were realized when a massive tree came crashing down. CTV's Shannon Patterson reports.
There's a gaping hole in the corner unit of this townhouse complex on Burke Mountain in Coquitlam after a huge tree came crashing down during the fierce overnight windstorm.
Between 4 and 4:30, we just heard this crash and it was so loud and it came down and the ground shook. We knew something had happened. We just didn't know where. I thought for a second it might have hit my house, but it hit the house in the back and it took out a children's bedroom window and destroyed the corner of that home.
The family that lives in the unit had just moved from the bedrooms to the living room during the storm, fearing trees could fall.
I'm just so grateful that they're okay. That was just, as soon as I knew they were okay, then I understand houses can be fixed, you know? Health is something else.
From Vancouver to the Tri-Cities and the Fraser Valley, trees all over the region were uprooted or snapped in half. No match for the power of the wind.
We went to bed, then all of a sudden we heard the wind kicking up and it was making a hell of a racket.
The wreaths that are on our windows were banging and they kept waking us up, and then there was branches falling from trees and they were hitting the windows and hitting the roof, and got up this morning and we saw that the tree had come down across the street and taken the power lines down.
So really significant wind speeds hit many areas and really caused a lot of power damages. And why there was so much damage, so many downed trees is really related to a couple of factors. One was all the rain we've had previously, sort of saturating the ground, and also the extended drought that we had earlier in the last couple of years, really, that have really sort of put a lot of our coniferous trees into sort of various stages of threat.
And when trees fall, inevitably, some of them hit power lines.
So at the peak of the storm, we saw about 120,000 customers without power. And the hardest hit areas are Vancouver, Surrey, and Port Moody. I think it's important to note that this marks the third major weather event this week. So our crews have been working around the clock.
Property owners and managers have been working too, clearing debris and pooling water from flooded parkades.
Just vacuum the water, that's it, and then call the plumber.
By late afternoon, the majority of hydro customers had their power back on, but it's possible some may remain in the dark overnight.
If there are any down lines, that is our number one priority. From there, we'll move on to outages where we can restore about 5,000. And then from there, we'll go into the more localized damages.
We've had power go out before, but nothing like this.
Nothing like this, And it's been out since 1 o'clock in the morning and there's nobody here yet. So it's kind of frustrating.
At the Burke Mountain Townhouse Complex, they're still assessing the damage. The family of 4 that lives in the impacted unit has been temporarily displaced.
They're good. I talked to them again this morning. They have a place to stay, so they're good. Everyone's okay. It could have been way worse, and so everybody's safe, and that's what really matters.
Shannon Patterson, CTV News, Coquitlam.
Late this afternoon, the city of Abbotsford lifted its remaining evacuation orders. But the flood cleanup is far from over. Premier David Eby says he will be calling on Ottawa for help so this kind of flooding disaster doesn't become a regular occurrence. CTV's Michelle Bernaro has the latest.
There are still flooded fields on Sumas Prairie. But even as the waters recede, there's plenty of work to be done.
Water made it up about here where the sawdust is sticking.
The water on this dairy farm reaching about 5 feet last week at its peak.
Unfortunately, we did have to dump 1 tank of milk because Saturday morning it was just too deep to get the milk truck in.
The Premier, who was in Abbotsford Wednesday speaking with farmers and business owners, says the floods have been devastating. He intends to raise what happened here, including the shutdown of Highway 1 for almost 48 hours at the upcoming First Minister's meeting with the Prime Minister and other premiers.
This is also a national issue. This is our Highway 1. This is a major goods corridor for the entire country. And addressing Highway 1 stability, ensuring that it's protected from floods from Washington State.
Flooding in Abbotsford began after the Nooksack River in Washington spilled its banks, triggering record flooding in that state. The Premier has spoken to the Governor of Washington State, offering assistance.
He offered the same to us. Fortunately, we don't need that assistance right now. What we need is a long-term resolution of resolving the water coming over from Washington State into British Columbia. And I look forward to working with him on that challenge.
Meanwhile, Abbotsford's Chamber of Commerce says it's been trying for years to make Ottawa realize the economic consequences of flooding.
Anytime there's a closure to Highway 1, you're talking about many millions of dollars of economic impact. What we get really concerned about is what that means for our supply chains and for the long-term economic impact of these types of flooding events on our region.
Damage assessments from last week's flood are ongoing, but in Abbotsford, a clearer picture of some of the losses is now emerging.
BC Poultry estimates 175,000 birds were lost during the flooding. 6 barns were impacted, including that one in behind me.
My parents and brother have a poultry farm right here, and they sandbagged. They did everything they could, but ultimately the water came over the foundations of the barn.
Businesses are also cleaning up.
The water was 3 feet up in our lunchroom, so we got to check to see if they, have to rip the walls off, and it's going to be mold in there and stuff like that if you don't dry it out completely.
And the worry is that unless something changes, floods could happen again. Michelle Bernoro, CTV News, Abbotsford.
And Anne is here. I was one of the 100,000 people looking for candles and flashlights this morning. It was strange to lose the power. Haven't had that happen for a while.
Yeah, it was very windy last night, overnight into this morning. More wind and rain is on the way. We still had flood warnings in place for Chilliwack River at Vedder River, and then high stream flow advisories for Sumas River and Vancouver Island. So more rain on the way. We do have a yellow rainfall warning in effect starting tonight right through until tomorrow. 50 to 70 millimeters of rain is expected. So we are keeping an eye on the floodplains in Sumas Prairie as well. We can expect to see strong winds gusting up to 50 kilometers an hour through the morning tomorrow.
CTV Weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Plan, book, and safeguard your journeys. Explore the possibilities at expediacruises.ca.
So although it was a nice day today, Mi-Jung, not out of the woodwork yet because, yes, more rain on the way.
Yeah, we've been dealing with stormy weather for many days
Quite some time.
Okay, thanks, Anne.
Welcome.
Breaking news, former Vancouver Canuck Willie Mitchell is denying the sexual assault allegations against him in a civil lawsuit. The lawsuit filed in October claims Mitchell sexually assaulted an intoxicated woman during a fishing tournament in Tofino in September 2022. Mitchell denies the assault, claiming it was consensual, and he had no reason to believe the plaintiff lacked the capacity to consent. His response also notes the plaintiff reported the incident to RCMP, prompting a criminal investigation. No charges were laid, and Mitchell's court filing says he fully cooperated with police. Every premier in the country is jockeying to access federal dollars for major projects. David Eby is no exception, and today he talked about which projects he wants added to the fast-track list. CTV's Penny Daflos reports on how average British Columbians could benefit.
With the high cost of living and the economy on shaky ground, the Premier is focused on attracting multi-billion-dollar investments and infrastructure projects funded by the federal government's new Major Projects Office.
The clear outcome from that conversation, to my mind, is that British Columbia is indeed positioned to be the economic engine of our country's economy going forward.
David Eby made the case for the feds to contribute to the Massey Tunnel replacement, access to ports, and
crucial work that we have to do around trade-enabling infrastructure. With the flooding that we saw in the Fraser Valley around Highway 1, and the threat, if we don't address that for the long term, that highway could face impacts that would last for months. disrupting trade across the country.
After facing repeated criticism about years-long waits to assess resource extraction projects,
we need to take advantage of the resources that we have.
EB is now championing them.
We have more than 8 major mining projects in final permitting,
while trying to lure the new Defence Security and Resilience Bank to Vancouver and the white-collar jobs that come with the headquarters of a multinational financial institution for NATO and its allies.
The accountants, the lawyers, the consulting firms, IT, risk managers, cybersecurity.
While domestic competition is steep,
this bank will be here hopefully for decades to come.
If there's a place in Canada where we should ask for this headquarters, it's Montreal.
EB believes BC has the advantage, and it's not just investors who stand to benefit from those many projects.
At the end of the day, it means jobs with decent paychecks, it means more prosperity for local communities, and it also means revenue for governments. The fiscal pressures that our province is under, it helps deliver healthcare, education.
Key decisions by companies and the feds are expected in the coming months. Penny Dafloss, CTV News, Vancouver.
Vancouver City Council has approved dramatic rezoning changes to the downtown east side. Staff say the plan will accelerate SRO replacement and increase social housing. But as CTV's Isabella Zavarisi reports, opposition councillors worry it will only make conditions worse for some of the city's most vulnerable.
One of Vancouver's oldest neighborhoods, the downtown east side, has captured the attention of mayors from all political stripes, vowing to solve the community's challenges.
The status quo on the downtown east side is not working for residents, for tenants, or for the people living in crisis. Doing nothing is not compassionate, and delay is not a plan.
The latest iteration passed Wednesday evening at City Council. The policy amends zoning and development rules to allow for towers up to 32 stories, lowers the shelter rate from 33% to 20%, and accelerates the replacement of SROs.
Most importantly to me, this policy will speed up the process of dispersing tenants who are finally beginning to form supportive, stabilizing communities.
People get pushed out of every other part of the city and end up here because this is the one community that won't turn its back. But we can't absorb everyone, and we can't survive if our own homes are torn out from under us.
Councillor Rebecca Bly voted against the report. In 2023, then with the ABC party, she tabled a motion to spearhead this work.
It covered a holistic plan that both recognized that healthcare, public safety, economic development, and housing had to work together in order to get to a better outcome.
She says the report strayed from what her motion sought to achieve.
I think it focuses too much on towers over the balancing of the community services that's required down there. So this is not about protecting status quo. It's about not coming in with a blunt tool.
Minister of Housing Christine Boyle says the province will be watching the plan closely to see how deeply affordable and below market homes may be impacted. Isabella Zavarisi, CTV News, Vancouver.
Spectacular scenery and the mildest weather in Canada aren't enough to keep everyone in BC. Our population is actually dropping, the first time that's happened since Stats Canada started keeping track. CTV's Martin McMahon takes a closer look at why people are heading for the exit.
It gives us a moment to breathe. BC's Jobs and Economic Growth Minister reacting as the province sees its population drop by a record 14,000 plus in the third quarter of this year, according to Statistics Canada. We had seen the federal government made a shift many months ago around immigration, and particularly around temporary residents. And the numbers now reflect that change. An exodus of non-permanent residents is behind the drop, the result of a changing government immigration policy. The latest numbers indicate Canada as a whole has also seen its largest population decline on record. We're certainly pleased to see the numbers start to balance. We need to ensure that we're able to get those social services up to meet the record numbers that we already have. And as we move forward, we urge the federal government to work with the provinces.
As that population surge fades away, sectors that expanded rapidly during that period will see growth now normalize. So that's on the short term what's going to happen. Over the medium term, however, slower population growth can ease pressure on housing, on infrastructure, public services, and improve the conditions for productivity.
As people leave BC, we're already starting to see rents fall. Vacancies are up, and asking rents have dropped 8.5% in the past 2 years, although the quarterly numbers show interprovincial migration has turned positive again.
It is what you would expect. If Vancouver is more impacted by reduced immigration than the rest of Canada in terms of falling rents, that vacuum sucks up Canadians from elsewhere.
The trend of a declining population could continue. Last month, the federal government indicated it plans to lower its temporary resident targets over the next 3 years. Martin McMahon, CTV News, Vancouver.
3 police dogs have finished their training and have already got to work fighting crime. Shelby, Sultan, and Sammy are the newest members of the Lower Mainland District Integrated Police Dog Service. They completed their training for frontline duty and explosives detection this fall at the RCMP Police Dog Service Training Centre in Alberta. They're now busy picking up shifts alongside their human policing partners. When an AI search goes terribly wrong, renowned Canadian fiddler Ashley McIsaac says an online mistake is damaging his reputation. Also ahead.
Our passports are still out there, and we don't really know what to do at this point.
A Vancouver woman's life put on hold when a courier company lost her passport. What happened when CTV looked into it? When CTV News continues, stay with us. A Vancouver mother was sent on a holiday roller coaster as her passport and visa went missing in the mail. She was stranded with her career on hold and desperate for a solution. CTV's Craig Krause has the story.
Days before Christmas, a Vancouver family received an unwelcome surprise.
Our passports are still out there, and we don't really know what to do at this point.
Gabrielle Van Claveren and her daughter's passport and visa were nowhere to be found. A devastating blow to the family who put their faith in Purelator delivering their documents in time for the holidays, forcing her to hit pause on her photography career in Los Angeles.
Purelator initiated originally a priority trace, which was a 3-day process for them, and just closed the trace, sort of abruptly and briefly saying that they have not located the shipment and it's now not deliverable.
So we typed her tracking number into the Purelator tracker, and what we found, you can see it here, that the package left Toronto on December 8th before a short stay in Mount Hope sorting facility, and then on December 9th, there was a weather delay before it arrived in Richmond.
Let's file a trace, see if we can locate it.
But hours after CTV News contacted Purelator about the situation, Van Claveren was hit with a Christmas miracle. All right, Gabrielle, what are you holding in your hands?
This is it. This is my recovered passport and visas, which is just surreal that we've even found this. I can't even tell you.
A roadblock now erased, her career back on track as they set off for Southern California in the coming weeks.
I'm just super grateful, and I honestly think it's just that collective pressure that we put on.
Craig Crow, CTV News, Vancouver.
Dozens of Indigenous-led environmental projects got a boost from the federal government today.
One thing that we know and that we have seen through Indigenous land guardians programs is that Indigenous-led stewardship helps water, lands, wildlife, and communities thrive.
Nearly $20 million will be invested into 82 Indigenous-led stewardship initiatives across the country, including 22 here in BC. These include projects like restoring wetlands in central BC and studying the impact of wildfires on snake habitat in the Okanagan. In addition to safeguarding the environment, the initiatives are also expected to create jobs in remote communities and promote sustainable economic growth. A Vancouver-based tech company is getting a major federal funding boost for an AI project designed to help farmers across BC.
Projects like this are not only driving a more sustainable agriculture industry, but it's strengthening our global position in smart farming. And that's why today, on behalf of Scale AI, I'm pleased to announce $6.8 million in funding for the work that is being done right here at Earth Daily.
The money comes through Scale AI, a federally funded hub that invests in real-world AI projects. Earth Daily Analytics will put the funds towards a project that combines satellite imagery with AI to detect invasive species and deploy drones for targeted crop treatments. Alberta's premier is firing back at Skate Canada for boycotting the province because of its transgender rules.
It's a very scary situation where if I had gone to a border, I probably would have been still in jail.
Renowned Cape Breton musician Ashley McIsaac is speaking out about an AI mistake linking him to crimes he didn't commit. Google's response coming up. In Australia, the man accused in the Bondi Beach massacre has been charged with 59 offenses, including 15 counts of murder, as families begin to bury the victims. Mourners gathered in Sydney today to remember the victims, including a rabbi and father of 5. Police say 24-year-old Naveed Akram and his father opened fire during a Hanukkah celebration on Sunday, killing 15 people and injuring more than 20 others. Investigators believe the attack was inspired by ISIS. Rob Reiner's son, Nick Reiner, made his first court appearance today on 2 counts of first-degree murder in the killing of his parents. The 32-year-old did not enter a plea as he entered from behind the glass wall of a custody area. He was in shackles and wearing a jail suicide prevention smock. Reiner's arraignment was postponed to January 7th at his lawyer's request. A musician from Nova Scotia is sounding the alarm after an AI-powered Google search mistakenly linked him to serious crimes. Fiddler Ashley McIsaac says an online search confused him with another man who shares his last name and wrongly labeled him a sex offender. As a result, he has lost out on gigs. Cybersecurity experts say he's a victim of AI confabulations when systems mash unrelated facts together. The consequences can be dangerous.
There are now lawsuits in the United States where we have people who actually died, committed self-harm because of this. We have others who are now alleged to have committed homicide and self-harm associated with delusions caused by these tools. They are dangerous.
It's a very scary situation where if I had gone to a border, I probably would have been still in jail.
In a statement to CTV, Google says the incorrect result no longer appears in its search and AI features, adding, quote, "When issues arise, we use those examples to improve our systems and may take action under our policies." Alberta's premier is firing back at Skate Canada, calling its decision to boycott events in her province disgraceful. The ban follows Alberta's new law restricting transgender athletes from female-only sports. In response, Curling Canada and Hockey Canada both say they have no plans to move events out of Alberta, citing financial impacts and logistical challenges. Advocates argue sports organizations are sending a message with their dollars.
If reason and the will of the voters is not being, utilized by our government, then it's going to have to be our dollars at our events that are communicating to them what is right.
Canada's Secretary of State for Sport says that while these organizations made decisions independently based on evidence and athletes' rights, the federal government believes in a sport system that provides opportunities for all Canadians to participate and excel without discrimination. Alberta is considering lifting its nearly 20-year ban on hunting grizzly bears in response to a rise in attacks and close encounters. The forestry minister says all options are on the table, including expanding a program that targets problem bears. But conservationists warn grizzlies reproduce slowly and population data is outdated. Critics argue there is no proof hunting reduces conflicts and fear the move is driven by trophy hunting.
The motivation here is not about the public interest. The motivation here is around a special interest. And the special interest is people that want to kill bears and are prepared to pay big money to do it.
The NDP is urging Albertans to share positive bear encounters and has launched a petition calling for more consultation before any changes. Homeward Bound, our feature on furry friends looking for their forever home, is coming up, and a major snowstorm is pounding Alberta. Treacherous conditions on a highway north of Calgary caused a nearly 100-car pileup. That's ahead on CTV News at 6. A powerful storm is moving across the prairies, leading to widespread road closures and creating blizzard conditions. The system is expected to bring 10 to 25 centimeters of snow in central Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. Some areas will see wind gusts as high as 90 kilometers per hour. The whiteout weather and harsh winds wreaked havoc on the roads, leading to an almost 100 vehicle pileup on Highway 2 between Airdrie and Calgary this afternoon.
We're looking at 0 to no visibility, so it becomes very, very hazardous for people moving around on the roadways, other drivers, pedestrians, things like that are still moving around and trying to find their way from place to place. And then, of course, with all the crashes we're seeing, it becomes very, very difficult for people to see emergency vehicles responding or let alone sitting on the side of the road.
The poor conditions are also affecting air travel, with many airlines making preemptive cancellations in anticipation of the storm. And Anne, I know BC's population has gone down. Many people have moved to Alberta. I wonder if something like this might have them reconsidering.
Yeah, they say it's a different kind of cold, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, a lot of snow there. The good news is for people in Calgary and Airdrie, the snowstorm has moved. You're going to see mostly cloudy skies tomorrow with a balmy -2 degrees. For us, this is how we fared today. 9.3 degrees, 3 degrees above the seasonal average of 6.6. 6.2 was our low, so definitely a warmer than our average of 1.2. And so far in the past 17 days, we've seen 129.6 millimeters of rain, getting close to the average of 155.8 millimeters of rain. Another system hot on our doorstep, and that is going to bring in more wet weather as we head through tonight and into tomorrow. So we do have a yellow level rainfall warning in effect. So moderate impacts, localized flooding, definitely, and it will be short term. So we can see anywhere between 50 to 70 millimeters of rain, and that's for the northwest and northeast sections of Metro Vancouver, as well as Howe Sound as we head through the day tomorrow. You'll see our rain already move its way into tomorrow morning for your early morning commute. As you can see, higher elevations, you will get that rain-snow mix. Local mountains could see some snow as well, and it's not until late tomorrow afternoon for your afternoon commute that things start to dry up and slowly clear up as well. You'll see 5 to 10 centimeters of snow for Fort St. John, your provincial forecast at the bottom of your screen. Periods of rain once again for Port Hardy with a high of 6 degrees. You'll start off wet for Campbell River and Comox. Clears up quite nicely through the afternoon. Temperatures, you'll see 6 degrees as well. Soggy for the South Island. Tofino, you'll see upwards of 40 millimeters of rain. 20 to 30 for Port Alberni. A light rain from Nanaimo right down to Victoria. Temperatures between 7 and 11 degrees. You'll start off wet for Powell River and Seashelt, but then it dries up through the afternoon. 7 degrees. You'll see 7 for Squamish as well, with periods of rain. 5 centimeters of snow expected for Whistler with a high of 0, and for us across the lower mainland, it'll be gray and wet. Temperatures between 5 and 9 degrees, continuing to Friday. And then on Saturday, we will see steady rain into Sunday. We'll say hello to winter at 7:03 in the morning, with periods of rain as well, continuing right through until Wednesday. That's when things start to dry up. We will see some sunny breaks, but look at those temperatures, a high of 3 degrees only. CTV weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations. So not done with the rain yet, but the good news is with those overnight lows dropping down just around the, hovering around the freezing mark, we will see higher elevation snow for the mountains.
Okay, I'm sure they will be welcoming some snow. Yeah, strange to see the numbers not in the double digits anymore.
The spring-like temperatures are all gone.
All right, thanks, Anne. Why the Academy Awards show won't be on TV in a few years. A media milestone for Hollywood's biggest night, also coming up.
But then the better things, you have to pay for it.
Before you buy a tech gift for someone, make sure it doesn't end up costing them in subscriptions or other fees. That story's ahead. Taking a look at today's markets, the Canadian dollar still trading for 72 cents to the American dollar. Oil was up 68 cents, closing the day at $55.81 a barrel. Gold gaining more than $41 on the day. The TSX and the Dow Jones finishing the day lower, down 13 points and 228 points respectively. Canada Post is gearing up for the busiest time of year and expects holiday deliveries to stay on track despite recent labor disruptions. The Postal Service says mail and parcels are moving smoothly and it is ready to support businesses during their busiest season. This comes after Canada Post and the union representing 55,000 workers reached an agreement in principle last month, ending 2 years of disputes over wages and delivery changes. Customers are encouraged to check Canada Post's website for any service alerts and review shipping options when buying online. The holiday countdown is on, and you may have some names you still need to cross off your shopping list. The latest smart devices and trendy gadgets can be a great gift, but check to make sure they don't have ongoing subscription fees. CTV's Pat Foran has more.
Flashy tech gadgets are everywhere.
It's the holiday season. We're going to see a lot of things that we love.
Before picking out a tech gift, lifestyle and tech influencer Jennifer Hernandez reads the small print and checks for subscriptions.
They will give you access to some things, but then the better things, you have to pay for it.
She's right. Many popular tech gifts offer basic features for free, but they may keep their most useful tools behind paywalls.
That's why it's worth considering. Are you giving them a cool gift that's going to cost them in the long run? And are you willing to cover those subscription fees? And if so, for how long?
Take fitness trackers. They give you health data at no cost, but some features that you might expect to be included, like deeper metrics or premium workout videos, usually require a subscription. When it comes to doorbell cameras, live view and basic alerts might be free, but features like cloud storage, person detection, or package alerts can come with an extra cost. But there are also plenty of models that now include those extras without a paid plan, so it's best to compare.
Some video doorbells store recordings locally, so you don't need to pay for a subscription to access your clips. That helps keep ongoing costs down, and not everyone needs the premium features that come with those monthly fees.
Bundles are worth a look if a tech device needs extra accessories. Buying them together might be cheaper than paying for each piece later.
Check whether the gift works with the devices they already have. Some work best with certain phones or home systems, which can save them frustration and extra costs later.
For Jennifer, thinking about those details is important.
You don't want to give someone something they're going to return it.
A little research can go a long way to make sure whoever gets your gift doesn't end up with an extra bill to pay once the holidays are over. Pat Foran, CTV News.
It will be a new era for the Oscars. YouTube has signed an exclusive deal to stream the Academy Awards.
And the Oscar goes to Mikey Madison.
YouTube takes the reins in 2029 and will live stream the red carpet arrivals, the awards show, and moments from behind the scenes. The Oscars is the highest profile and most watched awards show. ABC has had the rights since 1976, but that deal ends in 2028. Starting the year after that and until 2033, American YouTube subscribers will get exclusive access, and so will 2 billion other YouTube users around the world. A musical blending the songs of a Canadian icon with the story of Titanic will sail to Broadway next year.
It's been 84 years, and I can still smell the fresh paint. Titanic was called the Ship of Dreams, and it was. Oh, it really was.
In Titanic, Celine Dion doesn't just sing the theme song of James Cameron's 1997 movie Titanic. She claims to be a survivor and tells the story through her eyes. The spoof musical will debut on Broadway on April 12th after a 3-year run off Broadway. Cookie, Tucker, Katie, Shay, and Shaggy are all ready for adoption. Homeward Bound is still ahead tonight, and
Liam Overton with a wrist shot! Scores!
Just like that, a new era is underway for the Canucks, and the team's actually off to a pretty good start without their captain. We'll hear from some of the new players in the Ringside Report next. Plus, Merry Mail, why an island couple is stepping up to support who they call the Postmaster Elves. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off. Right now, here's a preview of your morning, Vancouver.
Well, Canada is going through a brutal flu season. Thursday on Your Morning Vancouver, just how bad will it get? And some tips on how to protect yourself during holiday gatherings. Plus, why are young Canadians so unhappy and can things improve? Plus, we'll show you some last-minute holiday gift ideas for the person who has everything. We'll see you in the morning.
The Ringside Report, brought to you by
CapitalDirect.ca. Let's make your vision a reality with Capital Direct. Call and talk to our team today.
The Vancouver Canucks are undefeated since trading captain Quinn Hughes. Sure, it's only been a couple games, but the new young players they've acquired are already pitching in. In this week's Ringside Report, CTV's Ben Milger has more on the new makeup of the team as it enters a rebuilding phase.
Besser heads off. Here's Kane cutting in front. Scores!
The Vancouver Canucks started fast at Madison Square Garden on Tuesday night and never looked back, beating the New York Rangers 3-0. That effort coming on the heels of a 2-1 win in New Jersey, the team's first game without recently traded captain Quinn Hughes.
Steve Williams centers, and that went off a devil in.
The centerpiece of that trade, rookie defenseman Steve Williams scored a goal and added an assist in his first game as a Canuck.
Of course, it feels good, but I think the biggest thing is we got the win, and hopefully we kind of take this with some momentum and go upward.
After weeks of uncertainty and trade rumors, integrating the new guys seemed to ease the tension and even brought some smiles.
It's been nice. We had a team dinner after the Jersey game, and it's kind of the environment that we get to bond with the new guys, and seems like they're fitting in great. So far so good.
Thatcher Demko played a huge role in this week's success, surrendering just one goal in the two victories.
When a goalie's seen it like that, the D just do their job. If it's they let them have the strong side shot, and they know Demmer's there. But it gives all our players a lot of confidence.
Despite stringing together back-to-back wins for the first time in nearly 2 months, the Canucks remain in last place in the league. They may now look to unload some more veterans in the trade market, hoping to acquire more draft picks to go with the first-rounder they received from Minnesota in the Hughes deal.
I think they hope that Kiefer Sherwood can fetch a first-round draft pick, and I think they're going to try to build a market around this player, and they hope that he continues to play as well as he has.
With a rebuild now well underway, stand by for more trade chatter. Ben Milger, CTV News, Vancouver.
The Ringside Report, brought to you by Capital Direct.
CapitalDirect.ca.
National pride, bragging rights, and the thrill of victory. There are many benefits to winning the World Cup, of course, including a big payday. FIFA has announced the 2026 champion will take home a record $50 million. The runner-up will collect $33 million, and the third-place side picking up $29 million. All 48 participating teams will get at least $10.5 million, and each qualified side will receive $1.5 million for preparation costs. Canine genetics company DNA My Dog has revealed the most popular names for dogs this year. For females, the top 5 are Bella, Daisy, Luna, Lucy, and did you hear that?
I did not.
And Maggie. Meanwhile, for male dogs, Charlie, Bear, Milo, Buddy, and Cooper. DNA My Dog is sharing some insights as well, saying vintage names like Mabel and Hank are making a major comeback. That's cute. They also note short and easily recognized names remain popular, especially if you're trying to actually train your dog.
Who does that these days?
I know. Do you run into a lot of Lucy's? Lucy dog?
No, surprisingly, I haven't.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there's little ones coming up then, coming up in the ranks, right? Because this was last year.
Yes, that is right.
That's
so maybe
true.
a lot more Lucy's next year.
Yeah.
They're on the way.
Okay, well, it's time for Homeward Bound, our weekly segment where we introduce you to furry friends from local rescues who are looking for their forever home. Here are some pets from the BC SPCA. Meet Cookie, a 6-month-old German Shepherd Kelpie mix. Cookie loves attention and playtime and treats. She's well socialized and has lived with other dogs and cats, but will need a slow introduction. Cookie will also need positive reinforcement training, so a patient, calm family is ideal. You can adopt Cookie at the BC SPCA in West Vancouver.
Adorable. Well, say hello to Tucker. This 7-month-old Labrador Retriever Border Collie mix is a ball of energy and fun. He'll thrive with an active family who can give him lots of exercise, mental enrichment, and consistent training. He's not a fan of cats, but could live with another dog. Tucker is available at the BC SPCA West Vancouver.
And meet Katie and Shay, a bonded pair looking for a home together. Katie is a 2-year-old affectionate, playful cat, while Shay is a brave 5-month-old kitten who's overcome a rough start on the streets. These two formed an inseparable bond while healing together at the BC SPCA in Chilliwack. If you're ready for twice the love and twice the joy, you can find them there.
Oh, cute. And finally, meet Shaggy. A 4-year-old Labradoodle, popular kind of dog, right? Shaggy was rescued last week after he was found running loose in West Kelowna with overgrown and matted fur. Kelowna SPCA gave Shaggy a good haircut and are now treating his chronic skin and ear infections. Shaggy also has a perineal hernia that will require surgery. The SPCA are asking any generous donors to help fund Shaggy's medical care so he can be made available for adoption.
Aww.
Oh, cute. Oh, he's just found running around.
Yeah, he'll find a home soon
Name
enough.
is so perfect for him.
Shaggy, yeah, exactly. Okay, for more information, head to adopt.spca.bc.ca. We'll get to the Sawatsky sign-off in a moment. First, Yasmin, what's coming up tonight?
Well, we'll have the latest on overnight strong winds that are still leaving thousands of people in the dark tonight as we continue to follow the impacts of that windstorm. Plus, the Vancouver School Board is set to make a decision on the future of Carleton Elementary tonight. Will the board close the city's oldest school building after a fire in 2016 left the school severely damaged?
All right, thanks a lot, Yasmin. A Vancouver Island community is adding extra magic to the holidays, one mailbox at a time. In tonight's Sawatsky sign-off, Adam shows us how a simple idea in Colwood is making letters to Santa even more special.
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
Although Finn is a fan of all things festive,
Santa just comes on a sleigh with his reindeer.
Although the 3-year-old and his baby brother even met the big guy at the mall,
He said, ho, ho, ho.
Finn had never considered sending a letter to Santa until his mom happened upon an unexpected invitation in the neighborhood.
Oh, I just thought it was really sweet.
The boxes were designed and built by Mike and his wife in the hopes of helping who they call the postmaster elves.
They're all very busy, so we thought we should put up a central collection station.
A place to post letters to the North Pole and another to receive personalized replies.
It adds another element to the magic and excitement of Christmas.
So we just put a letter in there, didn't know what to expect.
Well, based on weekly reports about the letters that Mike says they receive from Santa's workshop, this year's gift requests have ranged from cuddly stuffed toys to full-sleeve tattoos.
Not sure how Santa will deal with that, or if Santa might have to consult with Mum and Dad.
Mike says it's also heartening to hear that the children's letters include not just their wants, but their wishes for the well-being of others, which this volunteer can relate to.
Right now I'm involved with the Cancer Drive Line.
Mike has spent more than a decade traveling more than 7,000 kilometers a year to drive cancer patients to and from their appointments.
Just being a part of the community is to do things for the community.
Oh, there we go.
2 days after dropping off the letter, Finn and Jenna picked up their handwritten reply, which ended with praise for the boy being so positive and includes a bell that says believe.
It was really cute. He loves it. As you can see from the letter, we've read it about 50 times.
While Jenna is filled with gratitude and Mike with delight,
it's just a joy to be able to be a part of providing joy.
Finn is feeling so festive.
I'm really happy.
So happy he just might spend the rest of the holiday season
laughing all the way.
Adam Sawatsky,
Ha ha ha.
CTV News.
Merry Christmas.
Colwood.
Oh, that's perfect for the procrastinator kids who haven't sent him off to HO, right?
Yeah.
Is that tattoos for me?
Who's asking Santa for that?
Santa's considering that.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's TBC.
All right, let's take a look at our scenic snapshot for tonight. Look at these wild waves in Okanagan Lake. Thanks, Jane, for sending this stormy pic in. And we want to see your scenic snapshot as well. So email us at scenicsnapshot@ctv.ca. More rain and wind on the way.
Yes, sometimes the Okanagan can get really choppy.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
All right, thanks, Anne. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Great.